Good evening, and thank you for joining us for this New Year's half-hour show. Every New Year, the Canadian Armed Forces host their annual levy to the British monarch. It's a long-standing tradition, but Canada is the only Commonwealth nation besides Great Britain that still participates. Brendan Miller got to witness this year's levy at HMCS Griffin.
Members of the Canadian military gathered for this year's levy at the Griffin's Upper Deck Mess. Although this tradition originally began as a way for politicians to give their best wishes to their constituents, it has been adopted by the military to wish their soldiers and sailors a good new year. The Griffin's Lieutenant Commander Farley helped expand on the history of this tradition.
This is an interesting tradition. It's a way for the government representatives to meet with their citizenry and, wish them the best in the new year, and also to affirm, the citizens' allegiance to the crown, essentially. This was carried on during the fur trading times, where the fur trading companies would do similar type of events, basically to renegotiate trading contracts throughout the year.
Along with local military members, provincial MPP Lise Vaugeois and federal MP Marcus Pulowski attended the levy and participated in the tradition.
So it's been a very nice part of starting each new year for me, is to come down here, you meet the people who have been formerly part of the military, who are part of the reserves, who are part of the cadets, and it's a whole beautiful world down here.
It's really a great way to start the new year. It's a great tradition. It's a long tradition. I don't know, I think it's my 6th year doing this, but I always enjoy it.
After some discussion and catching up amongst peers, the participants then raised a glass to the British monarch, King Charles III.
So, please raise your glasses, everyone, to the King. To the King.
This storied tradition by the Canadian military has carried on through generations in support of the monarchy and themselves, and officials here believe it will continue for generations to come. Brendan Miller, TBT News.
Northwest Region OPP are now releasing details about the victims in a pair of fatal highway crashes in this region in late December. The first one occurred near Marathon on December 21st. OPP say the person who died was a 55-year-old man from Richmond Hill, Ontario. He was the driver of a passenger vehicle that collided head-on with a transport truck. The truck driver was a 23-year-old man from Regina. OPP say charges are not being considered at this time. The other fatal crash occurred on Saturday morning, about 20 kilometers east of Uppsala. The deceased was a 49-year-old woman from Winnipeg. OPP say the driver was a driver of a passenger vehicle that collided with a transport truck. The investigation into that collision continues. The Township of Ignace has lost its appeal seeking to overturn the trial decision surrounding the dismissal of Karen Dufault. She worked as the town's youth engagement coordinator for over a year until the town provided her with 2 weeks' notice, relying on the without cause termination provision in her contract. Dufault then sued the municipality for wrongful dismissal. A trial judge decided that the termination clause was illegal and thus unenforceable. The Court of Appeals has now upheld that decision. New year, new me, that's the saying some people like to use as motivation for self-improvement. Even some of Thunder Bay's top politicians are using the new year as a time to set goals. We spoke with our local MPs, MPPs, and the mayor about their New Year's resolutions.
I want to stay on fire as a politician and maybe build in a little bit of self-care so I don't catch a cold just before Christmas.
Personal goals. Well, I want to, I'm teaching myself how to watercolor, watercolor paint, and it's very difficult. But what it does need is attention and time. And I have not been able to devote enough attention and time to this new craft that this new art that I'm trying to develop. So I'm hoping to carve out and be more intentional about learning new skills this year that bring me joy, but that are challenging.
Enjoy 1 year at a time. I have no particular resolution, and I am who I am, and ask my wife. There's no changing me, so I'm not going to even bother to pretend I'm going to change. I'm going to be me.
What is your New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution is to take at least 1 day off a week. I don't do New Year's resolutions, so oddly enough, like I said, same as what before. It's just continuing the work that we're doing here, and just trying to make a better life for everybody.
As the new year begins, local residents are also setting their sights on fresh goals catered towards personal growth. We headed to the Grandview Mall today for a little insight of what resolutions are topping the list for people in 2025.
If you had any 2025 New Year's resolutions, what would they be?
Well, one would be to try and lose some weight and eat a little healthier. And the other one would be to probably start looking after myself a little more and maybe less of everybody else.
Eating healthy and just avoiding the junk food as much as possible and just going gym regular. Last year I was not able to continue each day, but this year I'm gonna do it regularly. Yeah, and just pay more attention to some skill development for develop some skills. I'm from the medical science, so I'm just gonna study this year.
Peace and love and joy. I think the world needs that.
So why do you think the world needs more peace and love and joy?
Well, just because of just the way the world is. I mean, it seems with the prices of food and just the cost of living, I mean, it's hard on a lot of people. And, it's frustrating for lots of people. So, just for us to all come together.
I think I'm just going to focus on my future career. Just entered my first year of university, going to study to be a gynecologist.
Get over my allergy of peanuts. So how I'm planning on doing that is just microdosing a bit at a time and riding the wave of the reaction. It's scientifically proven that's how you can work through it.
I did that.
Science.
A Thunder Bay couple took home $1 million in a Lotto 649 gold ball draw held this past fall. The winning ticket was purchased back in October, but OLG just announced the big win this week. Steve Skirba says he had the cashier scan the ticket at least 8 times and initially thought he had won $100,000. When he was told that the prize was actually $1 million, Skirba says he was frozen with disbelief. He then showed his wife Joanne the ticket that had just won them $1 million, and she burst into tears. Skirba says that the windfall means he'll be able to accelerate his retirement date. The couple plans to complete some home renovations, invest in the future, and travel to some warm, sunny beaches. The winning ticket was purchased at the Safeway store on Arthur Street. Hundreds of families made their way out to Fort William Historical Park last night to ring in the new year. The annual Family Frolic event was filled with indoor and outdoor activities, and, of course, a fireworks show just before 8 p.m. Justin Hardy has the story.
This year's Family Frolic was a candlelit evening of family-friendly activities, winter games and contests, live artisan demonstrations, live music, and fireworks. The Frolic is a long-standing tradition at Fort William Historical Park. Jennifer McFarlane, manager of marketing and visitor experiences, says she's proud to keep it going.
I was reflecting today a little bit on that, and it was probably around the mid-90s, if I remember correctly, when we first had a New Year's Eve Family Frolic, and it's been a tradition for Fort William Historical Park that's gone back that long and been on and off a bit over the years, but just a really wonderful opportunity for families to come and celebrate the coming new year on our beautiful site.
From storytelling to glow-in-the-dark karaoke, there was a whole host of activities for families to enjoy throughout the day. The evening's entertainment featured acts like Patrick Brandon Gidley and Clay Brayland and Rodney Brown. And it all wrapped up with the crowd favorite, a spectacular fireworks show.
So what did you guys do today on your New Year's Eve?
I went to the fireworks and
they had a glow-in-the-dark room, which my daughter absolutely enjoyed. They had a sledding hill going on. The animals were there. They had a nice bonfire, a scavenger hunt, all sorts of things. The food was great as always. So, yeah, we had a blast. We come every year. It's kind of become a family tradition. So, yeah, we brought Nana and Grandpa today. So we had a fun time.
Now that the year is through and the revelry is done, McFarland has a special message for the region.
On behalf of Fort William Historical Park and all of the staff here, that we just want to wish everyone in the Thunder Bay District and Northwest region a very happy new year and a happy and healthy 2025.
Justin Hardy, TBT News.